Hey everybody, Charlie here. Welcome to Let's Try U-Boat. This is a game that takes place in World War II. We're going to play as the Germans, and we are in charge of our very own U-Boat. Yes, our very own submarine. Now the game does progress a bit slower. It's not a whole lot of super fast action, so if you're into like a lot of movement and a lot of action, this won't be the video for you. But it is very strategical, and it is very... I want to say a bit deep, and it also allows you to play first person in this entire experience as well. So you can play this game kind of how you want. The game is in very early development, so it is not fleshed out. Don't think that this is the final game or anything like that. If we encounter bugs, or things don't work right, or things don't look right, don't discount it as a bad game. Just know that the game is currently still being developed. Okay? There you go. Disclaimer done. Settings screen, let's take a look really quick. It gives you the option to use metric or nautical, or we can use a mixed if you would like to. I'm just gonna leave everything default for now. Save mode is normal. We have gameplay mode as normal, which is recommended, but you can also go real hardcore with it and say, hey, you can only play in first person mode. That's pretty, I imagine that would be pretty tough. But if you wanna try it, you go for it. We have darker nights, I'm gonna leave that off. Normally, I would leave it on if I'm playing myself because it feels more immersive, but for the purposes of video, this thing gets real dark, so no thanks. Realistic bilge, we also have realistic earth curvature, which is kind of cool, and manual item delivery. This is where if you would like your engineers to automatically have tools, or you want your medics to automatically have first aid kits or whatever. Video options are pretty okay. I'm actually gonna turn the UI down to about 140. I've been playing around with it. At 100%, the UI is stupid small at my 1440p resolution. I'm gonna increase it to about 140 for you guys. I think that'll probably be appropriate. I thought 150 that I just tried was a tad bit big, so we'll go 140. But I like that there's a nice, easy slider for UI scale here. Very cool. Graphic settings, I got them all turned up to max, and it's actually a pretty beautiful game. Audio, we're gonna turn the music down slightly because it tends to be pretty loud compared to everything else. So turn it down just a little bit. And controls, we're just gonna use a mouse and keyboard for the most part. Obviously, there will be some WASD action and stuff, and I will use spacebar for pause and stuff, but other than that, it's a mouse and click. It's a point and click game. Okay, now, there's two modes, tutorial and sandbox mode. I would love to show you guys sandbox mode. However, I'm not versed enough in the game yet to just jump in without any serious directive. Sandbox, for the most part, just kind of throws you in and says, all right, here you go. And there doesn't seem to be any directive right away from what I can tell. I think the best presentation of actually showing you the game is going through the tutorial. If we were gonna do more videos on this, sandbox would be the way to go, of course. But for the purposes of just showing you the game and how it works, I think the tutorial does a pretty good job of guiding the player through the steps. So for that reason, I'm gonna actually show you guys the tutorial today. Okay, so let's go ahead and hit start and see what we get. And that's with the music turned down. Like I said, music in games, man, they just always mix it so loud, and it's like, come on, man, just give me a better mix. Okay, so it says, if the night is dark, consider turning on the red lighting inside your U-boat. Such lighting makes it easier for the eyes to adapt to the darkness. It will increase the sight range of your crew and will also make your screen brighter. All right, here's the start. We are Hilbert Kohler, and yeah, it's first person. We're just walking around. We've got our we got a suitcase in hand. We got our nice little shoes. You can hold shift to run if you'd like to. There's not a whole lot to do as far as like walking around here, but we can see things. You know, we can talk to people if you'd like. What do you need, officer? Just show me what you got. It's fine. And we can get things, medical kits or replacement parts. You can use money to get things. So there's a currency system in the game. We're not going to experience much of that in this video. But if you want to, you know, if we want to play more, if we want to see more, maybe we'll experiment with that later. All right. First objective is meet the captain. So here we go. Hi, Klaus Graf.
Officer Kohler. Get on board and prepare for the road. Our orders are on my desk. Make yourself familiar with them.
Prepare for the road, huh? It's the boat. It's on the seas. All right, so this is our U-boat, man. And like you can do, like I said, you can do this whole thing in first person if you want to. I imagine that's going to be pretty gnarly as a player, and potentially, I don't know what the audience for this kind of thing is like, but potentially quite boring for a viewer. I don't know how that works. We'll see. Maybe you guys are like super into it and you're like, dude, we gotta play U-boat. In which case, you know, maybe we'll give it a try. I don't know, we'll see. We can unfold the flag if we'd like to. What's up? Yeah. I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave it. Okay, here we go. Let's climb down the ladder. And the first person view is cool because you get a really cool look at what it was like to be in a submarine in the World War II in a German U-boat. It's kind of cool. Go down here. Okay, so we have at the upper right-hand corner, you're going to see our current objectives. It says we need to leave the baggage at our bunk and read a message from BDU. So let's get in here. Now, throughout the course of this, you're going to see these little tiny green dots. That's our current objective point. So we have a message that we can see here, and we'll see the bag we can put down here. So let's put down our bag in our bunk, and let's go ahead and read this message from Skipper. Orders. Before noon on September 1st, the transport vessel Falcon left the port in Edinburgh. We have information that a radar technology prototype had been loaded onto it. We have reason to think that the ship was sunk on its original course in the North Sea as a result of sabotage. Your task is to find the wreckage, retrieve the equipment, and if possible, avoid being detected by British units. We cannot be linked to the sabotage or attempts to seize the radar. Okay, and then there's nothing here for activity, but we can leave comments over this if we want to, so we can always leave our own notes if we'd like to as well. You can just type right here with the keyboard. It's very easy to do. I'm not going to do anything like that yet. Let's go ahead and hit exit, and let's take a look around here. Or not. Camera perspectives. This view is called the section view. It allows you to easily give orders to your crew and learn about the general condition of the ship. The game is fully playable using either a section view or first-person perspective. If you prefer to play using one and only one of them, you will never be forced to use the other. The first mission will demonstrate the advantages of each of them, so you will be able to decide for yourself which one you prefer. Okay. Officer, it's time to open the map and plot a course. Easiest way to do this is with the M key. So we're going to go ahead and do this. And now it wants me to right-click the target. So this is like our map view, and you can see sort of the world, and there's a lot. There's a lot going on here. Lots of different ports and stuff you can go to later. And this is all like sandbox mode stuff. Oh my God. There's a lot of stuff in this game so far. All right, so this is our current port. And we have our U-boat. This is us right here. So we want to go all the way over here. So we're just going to right-click this. And then we want to add more. So we're going to hold Shift, add this. Then hold to add this. And then there's another one way out here. We're going to add this. It didn't work the first time I clicked it. All right, it's time to start the engines. Click the highlighted button to show the telegraph. Here we go. Just like a freaking U-boat, man. And now choose the highlighted second gear of the engine. So we have diesel, and we also have an electric engine as well. We are going to be diesel powered, and we're going to go to forward 2. That's our commands. So these guys are going to start going, and they're going to go towards the objective point that I already placed. So here we go. Let's speed things up. Turn on time compression by pressing the highlight button in the interface. Yep. So right here, we turn on time compression. But if you want to just take in the sights, you can always just let it go real time, and you can just like get right in there. Section view also, if you zoom right in, you get to see the different compartments of the sub. I'm trying to figure out how to navigate properly. Okay, so the different compartments of the sub. So we can go to sectional view. This is all with the scroll wheel on the mouse, so I can see that they're kind of scrubbing the deck back here. Here's the diesel engine room. We've got, looks like some bunks, the kitchen, places to cook. We got the central area. This has got the listening post in there, or, you know, where we do sonar and all that stuff, I guess. There's more, looks like bunks that people can lay and kick back on here. Each side, both the forward side, the stern and the aft, I think it is. I'm really bad with these terms. I'll try my best to use them. The stern torpedo room over here. And then all the way up here, this is the front of the sub. There you go. The bow torpedo room. Ah, I knew it. Aft is like a direction, isn't it? I told you, I'm not versed with engine stuff. I'm not versed with nautical stuff, so I'm gonna butcher this, and I'm sorry if I do that. All you guys who are actually sailors out there, go easy on me, please. All right, so submarine's going. Let's go ahead and speed up time. Now, when we get out here, we're able to go into a fast travel mode, and that makes things much faster to get to our destination if we'd like to. Up here, we have different gauges. You can see battery capacity is currently at 81%. Our fuel capacity is at 87, and it shows us how fast it's draining. We also have our oxygen. This is the freshness of our air. The longer we dive, the worse our air gets, right? It says when you're in friendly neutral area, you can go ahead and fast travel if you want to, and I will. So there's fast travel, and fast travel kind of takes place on the map. So you can see it sort of just zooms you forward. I kind of wish it was faster than this, but it's not. It's just not. So oxygen is 100% right now because we're above. We're not diving. We've got discipline being 82%. When discipline falls to 0, a random sailor may break under stress. So our base is +2 discipline per minute. Normal lighting gives us +10%. Perfect time for you to get familiar with the boat, prepare for what is to come. I prepared a list of things worth doing in the meantime. Select Officer Kohler and assign him to the necessary tasks. If you prefer to play first person, click on him twice. Okay. So if I want to assign him to a task, I can just click him, and then I can click on whatever those tasks are. So for example, find and discipline sailors that don't do their duties. That's going to be probably this guy, since it's, yeah, it's probably this guy. He's going to go and probably sleep on the job. I already know what he's going to do. Well, I'm going to go ahead and double click him though, and that brings us into first person view. So this is actually what we see for him.
On your order.
Now, we can do things called playing cards if we want to. If we play cards with our crewmates, it improves their morale. So we could, like, I don't know, get to know us better and stuff like that. Puts them in a better mood. Let's kind of... Before I go that way, let's go this way. I want to show you guys the sub. So right here, we're all the way in the back here. This is the bow. I think this is the bow. Actually, this might be... Yeah, this is the bow. This is the front. This forward, the direction we're moving now. So we come back over here. Yep, we got our bunks and stuff. I mean, again, it looks pretty cool. You have the listening room, right? If we're just under the water, we can listen for vibrations and sounds coming and try to detect ships that way. It's kind of nice. You have the radio room here. Let's go underneath here. We have what looks like our depth steers station. Like, look at this stuff, man. Just imagine like having to be in this little boat for long periods of time. My God, it'd be terrible. Let's go up really quick. I'm mostly just showing you guys the experience of the game at the moment. We will progress the story a little bit here, but I don't think we're going to be able to do the entire tutorial in one video unless you guys want a really long video. Tell you what, why don't we just give you guys a really, really long video for the whole tutorial, and if you want to watch the whole thing, you can, and if you don't, then you'll stop watching when you don't want to. How's that sound? Okay, so here we are on the open water. Look at this. Huh? It's pretty beautiful. They did a really good job graphically. This is Diedrich Luther. We can take command of him if we'd like to. We also have the targeting sight. So with the targeting sight, we can use this to find vessels that might be out and around within our sight range. We can also use this to target specific vessels if we want to, and get better positioning as far as like where we should send our torpedoes, right? We're going to be using that in this video. And then if we want to, we can also go down and take a closer look down here. This is what it's like to be on the submarine. Let's take assign ourselves to the guns, right? Let's see. Now, can I actually control this? I would like to control it. It doesn't appear as though I can control the gun, because I wanted to shoot the gun, and it doesn't look like I can. All right, fine. Let's go back over. Whoops. Let's go back over here. There we go. Climb up the ladder. Let's go back down into the sub. And we want to go down one more time. There we go. Now it says press Alt to display UI. So if you want to see different parts of the UI and command certain depths and stuff, you totally can. Just hold Alt and you can do all those types of things. Like right now I can tell us to go even faster if I want to.
Faster, faster.
And it'll do it. Echo sounder is here. And here's the gyro compass. And there's also going to be a pump here. This is useful for pumping water out of the sub. So if we get a hole in the deck, we have to repair it. We got some water in here. We can use the pump to pump the water out of any compartment. It's more effective to... Oh, I went under here. I didn't mean to. It's more effective to pump water from the central compartment than it is to pump it from elsewhere. And there might be periods of time where we actually have to use buckets. But for the most part, this will do any compartment over time. Depends on how much of a hurry you're in. More bunks. We have the galley. A little bit of cooking happening. Imagine people who cook. Huh? This is your kitchen. Good luck with that. Storage room is in here, and we can use inventory, and we can move things throughout inventory as much as we want. So right here it says one of our objectives is to restock food in the galley. Remember, if the galley runs out of food, cooks will take random food from the storage to prepare for meals. Sometimes you may want to serve the crew a few different food types. Serve the crew a few food types. That will boost the discipline recovery at a cost of faster consumption. I suggest you do exactly that for better integration of our crew. So we can manually transfer food, or we can do it faster. Since we're in the galley already, we can click this button here, and we can highlight all this, and then we can move the food, like exotic fruits, into the galley if we want to, and transfer all of them in there. That's one way to take care of that. And it looks to me like different types are just like one slot, so I can't put more in there. But now we've placed the food in the galley, so we restocked the galley, basically. Okay, next thing is find and discipline sailors that don't do their jobs. So here's the diesel engine room. Oh my gosh. Are you listening? Does it sound good to you? That's awesome. Go through the bulkhead. Here's the electric engines, bit something more silent there. And it looks like Stephen Keller here has been, needs to be disciplined, okay? He's taking a nap while he's on his duty. Now we should react to such a blatant lack of discipline. What punishment is right for him? We can either give him a warning, in which nothing will happen. We can tell him he needs to clean the toilets, and during this time he'll be unavailable to help us, but discipline will grow by 5%. We can arrest him, throw him in the brig. Won't be available while he's in the brig, so he's not going to be able to help us, but discipline will go up by 10%. Or we could take this lazy napper who should have never closed his eyes, and we can make sure that he closes his eyes forever with an execution. Seriously. Discipline will grow by 25, but this sailor will, of course, be unavailable to help us forever because he'll be executed. I'm just going to go ahead and tell him to clean the toilets.
A Kriegsmarine sailor is always alert. You bring shame to our crew. Instead of free time, you'll be cleaning the toilets. It's the ideal place for people like you. Now get to work.
Now get to work, lazy bum. We can press tab. This allows us to open a management screen for the different people that we have too. So if we want to assign certain people to certain things, we can hold tab and do that if we'd like to. All right. So now the objective is to reach the destination. So let's run to the back. We're in a hurry, excuse us. All the way to the back of the boat. The U-boat. All right, now the destination is actually in the sea. It's not in the boat here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to scroll wheel out. Let's push us back into the this view here. And we can scroll out as much as we want. And let's take a look at the map really quick. We are really far away from our destination. So I'm going to go ahead and speed up time here. Speeding up time, we are going way faster now. It's way better. Now, right here, we can see the ship's buoyancy. It says our U-boat has positive buoyancy at this time and will float on the water's surface during normal... It's going too fast. During normal conditions. Warning, the displayed buoyancy doesn't account for the area between the hulls that usually slows down submerging for a short time. When you get negative buoyancy or 0, you start to sink, and that's kind of how that works. So we'll talk about how that works in a second. Now, the majority of this mission, I tell you right now, and this is going to be a pretty dark video, so I'm hoping that maybe I can put a little bit of lighting. Maybe I can light it up a little bit in post. But it's going to be a very, it's very dark. This entire mission takes place at night in the tutorial. There's nothing I can do about it. But try to bear with me if you like the game. You can try to bear with me, okay? That's all I'm going to say. Let's get out to the map. Okay, we've reached the area where, according to our intelligence, the Falcon wreck should be located. Keep your eyes open. We have to find it before the British do, okay? So we're on our way to our destination. And this is where the wreck is. So let's go ahead and speed up a little bit, try to get us right in there. And considering that it's pretty dark, I suggest you turn on the searchlight mounted on the conning tower. I don't think that we'll be able to spot the wreckage otherwise. Correct. Stop. Oh, boy. Okay, so what I'd like to do is we're going to go down to, let's say, forward 2 for now.
We're slowing down.
Slows us down just a little bit. But then I need to select my officer, Kohler here. I want him to come up here, and I want him to turn on the searchlight at the top of the conning tower. Now we can also press in the scroll wheel, and that automatically speeds up the time as well. So now that we got the searchlight on, our visibility, our sight range is greatly increased. However, it's important to note that when we get enemies that are trying to find us, this increases their ability to see us further than it increases our ability to see outward. So in other words, the distance that we're gaining from sight is less than the distance they can now see us from because of the light. Hopefully that makes sense. Send Kohler to the targeting site on the conning tower to look for the wreck in the area. That's okay. That's what we'll do. So Kohler is already up top. At least he was. I don't know if he still is. We're going to go to the targeting site and tell him to go here. Yep, he's right there. It's very dark. It's very, very dark. Okay, so when he's at the targeting site, it improves our ability to see even further. So now we get, like, really good visibility. Officer has managed to spot the wreck. Plot a direct course towards it. Open the map, press M. Already did that because I'm already there. And then I want to go right to the wreck. So here's the wreckage. We want to plot a course for that. It's 1 kilometer away. Enable fast travel mode to rapidly move to your destination. Yep, that's what I want to do. Okay, pause. Stop. Let's go forward 1 here. We want to slow way down so we can see the wreckage. Let's zoom out really quick. Look at that. These crates may be the equipment that we are looking for. Let's try and check some of them. One thing at a time, though. Open the engines so that we won't pass the wreckage. Stop. Stop the engines so that we won't pass the wreckage. Like, open the engines makes no sense. So we're going to go ahead and stop.
We're slowing down.
Now we can check the contents of the crates floating from the wreckage. You can activate all objects floating on the sea surface in the same way as the stations on your boat. It's easiest to look for them in the first-person perspective. Okay. Well, we can go to first person, or I can go just a little bit further forward.
Faster, faster.
Just a little bit. Just a wee bit. Just get a little bit closer to him. So now we can really see him.
We're slowing down.
All right. Now, we can go first person if we want to. And, you know, maybe it's not a bad idea. We can go into first person. It's cool. Let's get out of this. And we're going to come down where the ladder is. That's right here. Let's come on down and check out this stuff. Oh, boy. There's a wooden chest here. We're going to open that up. There's canned fish in it. Nice. We can place it on the deck. That's fine. What else we got over here? A pontoon. It's got nothing on it. No problem. Wooden chest. More canned fish. Fine. It says there's nothing worth our time in this box. Let's check 2 more. That's what I was trying to do. We can do it from this perspective just to see if it's any different for us. So let's see if I click this one. Open this up. More canned food. This one here has more canned food. There's a lot of canned food here. Is everything canned food in this wreckage? Wow, the whole thing is just canned food. Unfortunate, to say the least. Very anticlimactic. Equip the character with a diving suit. Okay, so we have the wreckage. That's exactly what we're into. The box is like no big deal. But what we're really after is the wreckage. You can barely see it. There's a boat right down here. You can kind of see it. And that's the wreckage. We want to go down in there. So in order to do that, we need to equip a sailor with a diving suit. So let's get Summer here. I'm Hans Summer now. I'm a different person. I'm going to go into the cabinet here where the storage unit is. And I'm going to grab one of these, the diving suit here is required to dive to a wreck. So hold down the control key to move the items one at a time. You know, that's fine. There we go. All right, we have the diver. That's Hans Sumner. He's a diver. So let's zoom out. And what I want to do is I want to click this, the winch. I want you to go investigate the wreck. Go to the wreck. Let's follow him. He's in that weird looking diving suit. Look at that. I love it. We'll just follow him for a bit so you can see what he's doing. And again, we can always speed up time if he's going a little slow for us, but yeah, we can just zoom out really quick. Let's speed up time. So he's going to go down to the winch. Down over here. And he's going to winch down. It takes a while. Like, these guys don't just do it, right? It's kind of a realistic time frame of how long it takes to do things sometimes. All right, so he's got a winch. We're hooked up to a rope. He's lowering himself down to the wreckage. Let's go ahead and speed up time for a little bit. And again, this is going to be a really long video, so I apologize for that if you guys aren't interested in that. But that's just the way, that's just the length of time it takes to do things sometimes in this game. So feel free to watch it as long as you want. Okay, the mission is now pull up the radar from the wreck. So click on Summer. Now he's way down here. And he says, on the sea bottom lies the wreck of the Falcon. What would you like to do, Skipper? Pull up the large wooden box. Okay, so we're going to use the winch. And we pull it right up. New objective, transport to the radar. Transport the radar to the main storage room. Okay? Kohler. This is the radar. We just pulled it up. We want to transport this. So we're just going to tell Kohler to go in here. And we want to transport this to the storage room. That's the command we're going to give him. Now, that doesn't actually move it. Me dragging it doesn't actually move it. It instead gives him the command to go and do it. So it takes a little bit of time that way. Luckily, we can compress time if we'd like to, and so we will. And he's bringing it down to the storage room here. There we go. Fantastic. Now it says, meet the captain. Okie dokie. We're in first person view. Let's go up and meet the captain. So the captain is up top. If I remember correctly. I may be wrong about that, but I think I remember him being up top here. I have to click the ladder. I can't just keep walking. All right. Let's come back down like this. Down the ladder. And we've got Captain right here. What's up, man?
Herr Offizier?
Skipper, you need to see this immediately. Skipper, the destroyer is readying its battle stations.
Damn, they declared war on us. Kohler, fast! Cut out Summer, or we all are done.
All right, so we're under attack now, and the ship is like really close to us. It's going to attack us right there. So what we have to do is we can't get him up here in time. We can't pull him up in time. We're gonna go down. We're gonna just basically, we'll all die if we don't go now. So we have to cut the rope. Yeah, it's shitty. It's really shitty. We have to cut the rope. And that unfortunately means that the sailor dies. But we have to go. So that's just the decision we've made. So we're gonna go up the ladder now and get back in the boat, and we need to dive a little bit, I think. Or is it just shoot? I forget. Let's just go. I don't want to take command. I want to go down the ladder. Oh, go down. You know what? It's okay. We'll just go out this view. So it says flood the ballast tanks and dive. So Kohler, what I want you to do is come to the valves, and I want you to flood the tanks. And then what I want to do is we're going to go forward 1 on this. We're going to want to switch to our depth meter, most likely. Unless it's going to have us just go straight down. They will shoot us like ducks on the water's surface. Click the highlighted button and set the depth to 50 meters. So that's what we just did. Depth here. We want to set it to 50 meters. So we're just going to go right about here and hit go.
Alarm! Crash dive!
All right. So we've decided to flood the tanks, which is necessary to remove our buoyancy, right? We need to reduce our buoyancy down past 0. And once we've once we've flooded the tanks, so we're no longer floating, then we dive down.
Switch to electric motors.
Getting right down there underwater. And again, the game is very dark. So one of the things you can do to offset like the whole issue of it being so dark, it's just basically to play in this kind of view the whole time, because there's not a whole lot to see under the water. Or you can just, you know, go first person and play first person the entire time if you want to as well. So it says escape from the destroyer. That's our current objective. We can try to play first person, but I kind of like the idea of being able to see what's going on as far as like where the boat is and the positioning and all that. But it is so dark that, yeah, playing first person might be the answer here when you're playing this at night and it's super dark.
A ship is directly above us.
All right, so the ship is like, you can hear it. The ship is right above us. So we're... The hull is breached. Fast, press the space button on the keyboard. Okay, so apparently they put down some depth charges or something, most likely. In such a situation, always stop the game and carefully plan what to do next, as each second matters. At this time, there are 2 leaks on board. One is serious, but the second one is smaller and won't be that dangerous until we dive to a greater depth. I don't see any way to save the aft compartment. Move camera to the aft part of the boat and click the highlighted evacuation button. So, stern right here. This is flooding. This is a big problem. We can't fix it right now, not in time. So what we're gonna tell the crew to do is just get the hell out of there, basically. While Kohler takes care of closing the compartment off, send engineer Felix west to repair the parts of the storage room. So this part here is a smaller leak. We can probably repair this. So we got a new guy. His name is West, and he's gonna be able to repair this. Now, I think he's probably going to need components for that. Yeah, he needs to get parts. Open the storage room and make sure that West has the replacement parts. There we go. All right, we're gonna unpause the game and let it go. So everyone's been told to evacuate this, just get out of here. And this whole compartment here is going to flood, but we've sealed it. We've sealed, you know, with this bulkhead here. So the water's not gonna drain into the rest of the sub. It's just gonna be isolated to this, but it is going to flood that. Very good. West took the replacement parts and he can do repairs. Select him and order the repair. So take West and tell him to repair that leak. Now select and send Kohler to turn on the pump to pump out the water from the leak. So we got that pump that I was talking about earlier, and it can pump water out of here. Now that that's sealed, we can try and pump water out of there. So Kohler, come over here and turn on the pump. Now turning on the pump will make us more not really visible because we're under the water, but it's going to make us more detectable. If I hover over top of this, we get to see how detectable we are. Currently, we're generating 98 decibels of noise, and we also have sonar detectability at 58%. So anyone with sonar can probably hear us because of certain reasons, and then we also have all those different reasons why we're making noise generated by our boat. Now, because we're close to the seabed, we actually are getting more concealed. We may seem like we're closer to, you know, the environment or whatever. The pump can pump water out of all compartments on board, but because of the resistance of pipes, it is most efficient to do this from the central compartment. Although there is no need now, at deeper depths, you may be forced to carry water with buckets to the central compartment to pump it outside. So there you go. So this compartment here is now filling up, and you can see that our depth, we're going deeper than we wanted to go. In fact, we're going deeper than we wanted to go, to the point where we are about to basically rest on the seabed. The ground is like right here, so it says blow the ballast and blow the ballast tanks and surface. So Kohler, I want you to go ahead and blow the tanks. Now the boat has already passed over us, so the boat's like long gone now. This is Wreckage, but the boat that we were looking at, that boat's long gone. It's not within our range anymore, so it's safe to come up now.
Repair complete.
By going all the way down to the seabed and being still and all that, it's possible we like deceived them into thinking that we're no longer, you know, we're no longer a boat that works. Okay, so ship's buoyancy is going to start going up. Let's go ahead and speed up the time. Now that the buoyancy is positive, we can start going to the surface. So you can see that we're starting to get higher up here. We're starting to ascend, if you will. We're no longer on the sea floor. And eventually we will surface because of our positive buoyancy. Now there's enough buoyancy within the tanks here to get us up to the surface, even with like several compartments filled with water. So there we go. We are now up to the surface.
Switch to diesel engines.
Let's go ahead and make sure we stop this engine real quick. We have used most of our compressed air reserves for the emergency blowing. We have to use the air compressor to regenerate them. It is located in the flooded compartment, unfortunately. It's time to dry the stern compartment. Open the bulkhead leading to it and start repairs. Remember to repair the hole at the top of the hull first, and after that, take the air compressor and turn it on. All right, so we have this compartment here. It's full of water. It says, one more thing. Before you open the bulkhead, I suggest you equip the engineer with an oxygen mask from the storage room. Without it, he won't be able to perform eventual repairs under the water's surface in the compartment. Okay? So what we want to do is tell Mr. West here to come over here into the cabinet and grab one of these breathing apparatuses. And once he's got one of those, already does, good. Once he's got one of those, then we're gonna go ahead and tell him to open up this bulkhead. And we want him to immediately repair this hole. Now we're surface side now, so there's not going to be nearly as much water coming in because there's no water above us now. And we are going to actually have all of this water come flushing into here, but the idea is that the pump is going to be constantly pumping that water out. So actually moving the water into the central compartment is actually a bit more effective. All right, it's cool. So the water's starting to drain throughout the whole boat now. Let's go ahead and repair this. And that will take a bit of time, so let's go ahead and just speed it up. This water's flooding into other compartments now. But again, it is going to eventually be pumped out with the pump, so it won't take too long to get rid of it all. It's more effective to pump it out in the middle of the boat than it is over here. Repair is complete. Okay, let's go ahead and pause this really quick. The next objective is to repair the air compressor and the electric engines. I'm going to go ahead and have him do the air compressor first.
Affirmative.
So we can get the air compressor's progress going again, and then we have to repair the engine. So one more time, let's speed up time, and we'll let him do these two things and then I'll come back. And if you're wondering how long does it take to repair these things, or if you're like looking for some sort of status bar, right? It's actually this little interface right here. So you can kind of see this is the current task that he's doing, and this is this progress bar in completing it. So it takes a long time to do these things. And this is sort of what I was saying earlier about like why does it take so long, or what, you know, if you're one of those people who like lots of action, you're like, hey, we got to get going. Why are we not moving? There's not a whole lot going on in the video. It's because the game does, I mean, obviously it's not true to life, but it does try to emphasize the fact that certain things, you know, they take time. And it's not something you can just, hey, oh, ta-da, it's fixed, right? It takes a bit of time to do that. You can also see what I can only assume is a health bar, I guess, kind of thing, meter. And this slowly fills up over time as the repair is going too. Now, right now, West is the only engineer we have, so he's the only one that can actually repair things. At least in the tutorial, anyway. Let's go ahead and have you repair the electric engine as well. And actually, what I'd like you to do instead is I'd like you to turn this on.
Yes, sir.
Now I'd like you to go ahead and repair this.
Yes, sir.
Wait, what? No, turn this back on.
Yes, sir.
Oh, were you going to do that anyway? I told you to turn it off. Is that what happened?
On your order.
There you go. Oh, we can just, we don't have to right click it. We can just click it with the left click and it will just do the default action. Oh, I didn't even know that. Cool. That will speed up time actually. All right, let's go ahead and speed up the time again. You can see it takes a while to get this electric engine fixed. This is with time sped up. So it's gonna take a bit to do this, but that's what the tutorial wants me to do. It says renew the air reserves. That's what the compressor is doing right now. We're using fuel as well as our battery capacity to run this compressor, and eventually we'll have our air reserves all renewed with the compressor. Compressed air reserves low is what it says. That's what this little meter here is. Our compressed air is low, making surfacing harder or even impossible. Turn on the compressor on the water to turn on the compressor on the water surface to replenish your air reserves. There you go. So it's pulling air from, you know, air and compressing it in so we can use it. This compartment is still flooded. A little bit weird. The pump is on, is it not? This pump is on. Yeah, it is. Well, maybe it'll eventually work. I don't know. Okay, it says shoot down the aircraft.
Alarm. Take your positions.
We are getting shot at by an aircraft now. Let's go quick to the map view. You can see this is the plane. It's circling us. It's shooting at us. So we need to deal with that now. So while we're dealing with, you know, the flooded compartments and everything, Kohler here is going to come up to the gun. He's going to man the guns and he's going to go shoot at that plane. West is all done with the engine now. So I guess you can kind of go wherever you want, I suppose. Yeah, you can kind of go wherever you want. Kohler's up top. He's shooting at the plane. That would be incredibly loud for this guy, I think. I'm just saying, I'm not sure I would be standing here like this while this is going off. That'd be just insanely loud. I hope you have earplugs on because that's just crazy. So he's shooting at the plane. Now if we click on Kohler, we can see the aircraft is what he's shooting at. If we click on the aircraft, we can see the status of the aircraft. So right now the aircraft's HP is full. We haven't really hit it yet. Hopefully Kohler can maybe do that. Let's speed up time. If you could maybe have better accuracy, that would be great. I'm just saying, it's a good idea. Get a bit more accurate, it'd be nice. Shoot at it. I'm trying to see it. There it is, right there. I'm trying to get a visual of that plane. Let's focus the camera on the plane. Let's see what the plane sees. So that's the submarine down there shooting at it. That's cool. Kohler, are you gonna hit this plane or what, dude? Shoot the plane! Shoot at it! Shoot at it! My God. It's taking forever for you to shoot that plane down, man. Shoot down the aircraft. That's the current objective. I feel like that plane would have wrecked us by now with all the missing we're doing here. Okay, I don't know what he's doing. He's not able to shoot this stupid craft, so we're gonna go manual mode here, and I'm gonna shoot it so we can control the gun ourselves. Try to shoot the stupid plane out of the sky. I'm sure it's not very easy. I feel like we just can't shoot this plane. It's really, really difficult to shoot this plane, man. Like, we haven't even scratched the stupid thing yet. This is really difficult. I feel like I gotta lead it like way more. Like, I feel like you have to shoot it like way out here in order for the bullets to like actually hit that thing. It would be very difficult to hit a plane. Like, think about what they had to do to hit planes back then. Like, oh my god. And this plane just keeps circling. It's not actually coming at me right now. It's just really difficult to shoot it. It's a little plane way over there, and I'm shooting like ballistic shells at it from way over here in the water with the bob and weave of the water. I feel like that's incredibly difficult. At night too, like it's all at night. Wait, did I get it? Oh, it's coming right at us now. It's coming right at me now. Reload, 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 reload. Oh, we got some. We got it. Oh, we got a little bit of damage on it. Yeah. Go, go, go. Get it, get it, get it. Get it, get it, get it. I wonder if it's better for like short precision shots. It's not really a whole lot I can do for precision out here though. I can't like calculate bullet drop at this distance, you know? Like when are the bullets gonna drop? I don't know. Just kind of letting him shoot for now. How much is left on this plane? It's coming at me again. Got it. The aircraft flew too fast after our boat was detected by the destroyer. There has to be an aircraft nearby. There is a hydrophone mounted on your boat. If the aircraft carrier is moving, we may be able to detect it. Select Adam Newman, our radio officer, and assign him to the listening room at the hydrophone. Okay, so I'm going to leave the position. I am now Adam Newman, and what I want to do is I want to go to the hydrophone. If I get up out of my bed. Yep, today. Let's go to the hydrophone here.
Copy.
I think we can do manual mode here, I think, if we want to. Detect the nearby aircraft carrier. Remember that in order to detect anything with our current GHG hydrophone, you first need to submerge to at least some depth. Send any free officer to the valves control room. Okay, so what I want to do is I'm going to go... we're going to send Kohler here. I want you to go get off of the conning tower, for starters. And I want you to come down and... I think I want you to flood the tanks a little bit. Valves and controller, yeah. The valves, yeah, this. And then I want to say, let's go periscope depth.
Periscope depth.
That should be good enough. And Mr. Newman here, how does this work? Oh my god, this is so cool. You can control like every little bit of this. But right now we don't have depth. So we have to go deeper in order for this to work, but so let's wait until we actually have some depth. Says it worked. The radioman clearly heard the propeller of a large vessel not far from here. Turn on the map and click the right mouse button on the aircraft carrier group to select the course to it. Okay.
Switch to electric motors.
All right, so we heard this from all the way back there. Really. All right, that's our heading. Now send any officer to the valves to the surface back again. Long distance travels. Okay, so what I want to do is go back to the surface. We're gonna blow the tanks. There we go. And looks like Kohler is doing that, right? That's what you're doing? Blow the tanks, please. I thought that's what you were doing, but I guess not. Blow the tanks. That'll bring us back to the surface. There we go. And now we want to go forward. Forward march.
Faster, faster.
We're going to need all the torpedoes we can get we're going to need all the torpedoes to get such a prize. Select our engineer, West, and send him to load the torpedo into one of the free launchers. Okay, so West. What's up, West? I want you to come all the way over here, and I want you to load a torpedo into here.
Move! Come on, quickly!
All right, let's go. I'm going to watch him do it, too, because it's kind of cool when they watch him do it. All right, let's speed up time, too, because we're on our way to the destination. So while all this is happening, we are traveling. We're not just sitting here doing nothing. So it just takes a bit to get there. So while we're on our way there, we're prepping our torpedoes, right? It's like a big multitasking thing. Everybody's doing something. Everybody's got things to do. Experience World War II in all of its glory, everyone. Okay, 2-4 is loaded. Let's go ahead and take a see how far away we are. Pretty far away. Let's go ahead and fast travel. Yeah, that's where we wrecked the Falcon and all that stuff. So basically, we had an aircraft came out here and found us when we were doing our wreckage and stuff. We were doing the wreck, trying to get the wreckage. A boat found us, attacked us. We sunk ourselves down really deep. The boat couldn't figure out where we are, but it presumably radioed ahead to another boat, which is an aircraft carrier. That sent out a plane to go and search for us. We then were already surfaced, so the plane found us, began to shoot at us, and we shot the plane down. So now we are headed towards where the aircraft carrier is after listening to try to figure out where it is. So that's kind of how it happened, right there.
Faster, faster.
I'm going to tell them to go forward 3 so we can hopefully just get there faster. Here we go. All right, let's switch down to forward 2, please. All right.
Slowing down.
Although the searchlight increases our vision range, it reveals our location to the enemy. I suggest you send any officer to turn it off, okay? So that's what we're going to do now. We want to send an officer to turn off the light. So let's send Kohler here up to the searchlight to turn it off. We're in the area where we detected the aircraft carrier earlier. Visibility is very low. Send Kohler to the conning tower to the targeting site so he can help look for the enemy. Considering that U-boats on the surface are harder to spot than the average ship, night and bad weather work well for us and allow us to get close to the enemy without detection. Okay? Well, I already sent Kohler up there to get this, but now it wants me to take him to the targeting sites instead, so I guess we'll do that. I'm attempting to select him, but it doesn't seem like it wants to work. I want to send him here, but there it goes. It's a little touchy. There it is. Okay. So we're going to let Kohler get up there. Speed up time until he does. I'm actually thinking instead we'll get Kohler to turn the searchlight off first. Turn the searchlight off, thank you. And then I want you to proceed to search for the boats. Okay, so he's on the lookout, trying to find this aircraft carrier. This is our sight range, and with him there, our sight range improves, it increases. Let's go ahead and speed up time. is see if we can figure out where these guys are. We got Kohler up in the rain for the lookout. Okay. And we have spotted the aircraft carrier. It is separated from its escort, probably because of the fog. It's a great moment to attack. In similar situations, remember to keep your boat at the right distance to stay undetected. Click the highlighted button and choose first forward gear for the engines. So we're gonna choose forward 1 for the engines.
We're slowing down.
Good. Let's start the targeting process. Select Officer Kohler. So what we want now is Kohler, who is up here. Rather than searching for other targets, we want him to focus in on the target that he sees and help us for navigation for the other, like for the torpedoes. So we're going to right-click on the aircraft carrier that he sees.
Calculate torpedo course.
And that's going to allow him to calculate what the courses we need for our torpedoes. Now, this is his progress. We can fire after he gets to 50%. But in order to get that accuracy, we're going to need to get a little bit closer. And we are approaching. You can see we are slowly getting closer to this. So it's going to help him. It's going to help him more easily figure out where we need to go. 50% is where we're looking for. But if we can get to 100%, we might be able to do more damage to the thing. So right now it says 53%. We're going to let him get a little bit closer for him to be able to do it too. Kohler has a good bearing on our targets. It's a good time to fire. Select Officer Kohler, and then click the left mouse button to select on the aircraft carrier from the list. Okay. What we're going to doing is we're going to be launching torpedoes at this target. Now we need to flood the tanks. Flood the torpedo launchers here. So we're going to go ahead and click this.
Tube 1.
Flood the tube.
Flood tube 2.
We're flooding all the tubes.
Flood tube 3. Flood tube 4.
Puts the torpedoes in water within the tubes, and that kind of prepares them for firing. All the launches are flooded. Good to go. Fire. Now, I don't want to fire right now, but it's going to make me fire right now, which kind of sucks, because I would like to get closer, but this is tutorial mode, so that's what we're going to have to deal with. So we are going to go ahead. We have a 59% accuracy. I would like to get a little bit closer, but whatever. Go ahead and hit fire.
Fire!
We have 60%, 61%. And here's all of our torpedoes in the wolf pack. There's all our torpedoes. Now in the map screen, we can watch our torpedoes. If we zoom out really quick here, we can see the path of our torpedoes as they go. We can also, if we want to, see the perspective of the torpedo, although in the dark like this, it's pretty much nothing. You're not going to see much. And you can kind of see that we're going through the water here, but unless the lightning hits, you're not going to see what we're shooting at. We can also, if we choose to, see the perspective of the boat. So let's zoom out, click the aircraft carrier, and see the perspective of the boat. All right, so this is the aircraft carrier. It's a pretty nice looking boat. Yeah, the British aircraft carrier. It's just hanging out here, totally unaware that there's torpedoes headed its way. Totally unaware. It has no idea. Isn't that nice? I can't really see the boat from here. I thought maybe I could, but I can't. We have an 82%.
30 seconds, sir.
We have an 82% on that targeting, which is kind of nifty.
Calculate torpedo course.
Okay, so we have torpedoes. No, I don't want to do that. What do you... No. Go here. I clicked the wrong button. Jeez. Can I see my torpedoes, please? 10 seconds to impact. Okay, so let's see if we hit anything. Ooh, nice hit, too. It says minimal damage, but, like, that seems like a pretty good hit to me. We got another one coming in. Serious damage. Bam. Hit it again. Major hull damage, but it doesn't look like we sank it. So we're going to need to shoot again. So let's go ahead and get ourselves more torpedoes loaded. Mr. West, I'd like you to load another tube, please. I can only order him to do that 1 tube at a time. Oh, we did sink it. Never mind. Escape from the escort. Like this, pause. So, looks like to me like there's an escort. They got hit, they radioed ahead, and there's an escort somewhere. And I don't know where that is. The ringing of the alarm bells of the escort is heard. It's only a matter of time before they detect us. So they don't know where we are necessarily yet, but they're looking to detect us. Send one of the officers to the valves and flood the ballast tanks. So what we're going to try and do is get the hell out of here by flooding the ballast tanks and diving deep. We're going to go 180 meters. So let's go.
Alarm. Crash dive.
That's our crash dive. Let's get the tanks flooded. Order any officers to turn off the gyro compass. Its use is rather limited while escaping underwater, okay? So we'll have, let's say, Newman come over here and shut off the gyro compass. Now, it's going to tell us that most of the boats are capable of detecting submarines, right? They're capable of sending out sonar or whatever to detect the submarines. And as far as like radio goes, they can hear us, right? They're able to hear the sub. So what we want to do is make ourselves as inconspicuous as possible for this particular escape. That means shutting off things that take a lot of noise. Now, right now, there's a big storm happening. So on the surface, there's a -100 for seeing us with sonar. And because our hull is exposed, there's also a +100. So basically 0. Now that we're going to be going underwater a bit, though, our ability to be detected kind of goes up a little bit since we're no longer going to be at the surface. We want to limit how much noise we're making. So we are diving, but we're most likely going to be detected by the escort that's coming in. We got corvettes coming in after us, so we want to make sure they can't detect us. I'm actually kind of surprised the game hasn't told me to do this yet, but Mr. West, who is loading, he's loading torpedoes. I need somebody to come over here and shut this air compressor off, please. It's making a lot of noise. So right now our noise is 103 decibels. We want to eliminate that as much as possible. Mr. Kohler, I need you to shut off the pumps. And we have the steering engines and the electric engines. We can't do much about that unless we're not wanting to, unless we don't want to steer. At least we have 1 torpedo loaded. We could maybe load another one if we want to, but it won't matter. But if under the situation, I would probably load another torpedo. I would probably have him loading one. But so we're trying to deep dive, right? We want to dive 180 meters.
200 meters.
Nope. I definitely said 180. That's what this is.
200 meters.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you're very enthusiastic. Good for you. Let's go speed up time a bit here. We're going deep. It says we're detected. Detection is 88 decibels. We need to get out of detection here. So steering engines, where are those at? Steering engines. I imagine they're in the engine room, but 8 requires the engineer. Electric engines. Electric compressor, workshop. Steering engines? I mean, we kind of need to be able to steer, right? Perhaps not. Electric engines and steering engines are both making noise. There doesn't seem to be a way to shut those off. Oh, depth steer station. Switch to manual steering? We're already doing that. Right? Aren't we doing that already?
Yes, sir.
Maybe not. If we switch to manual steering... Actually, I don't want the engineer to do that. Oh, right. Okay. So now the objective is to reach the port. However, this concludes the tutorial, right? Unfortunately, we have to stop here. You'll be able to learn about the further fate of the crew in one of the upcoming updates. If you wish to keep playing, we suggest you choose the sandbox mode from the main menu. After you completed the tutorial, you should be ready for the challenges of managing your submarine on your own. We hope you have enjoyed the game. Remember to report to us all your suggestions for improvements and encountered problems. Thank you for your time, Deep Water Studio. Special thank you to Deep Water Studio for letting me play your game, let me share it with people. And special thank you also to you for watching. If you're still watching this video after an hour, thank you for doing that. I appreciate it very much. I hope you enjoyed the game. This has been Let's Try U-Boat. Again, there is a sandbox mode, and that sandbox mode just kind of throws you right in and says, look, here's your crew and here's your sub, go. If you like that kind of thing, you'll probably like this game so far. There's lots more to come. I imagine they're still in development, so they're going to get all the kinks worked out, and also I imagine add new features too, but I don't know that. Anyway, that's going to do it for me. Thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it. My name is Charlie. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.